Welcome to Wisdom Uploaded. Today we're tackling something huge, something pretty much everyone creating content online is wrestling with right now.
Yeah, it's the sheer volume, isn't it? Content saturation. I mean, the figures are kind of staggering.
Staggering is the word. Like, what was it? 500 hours of video hitting YouTube every minute.
Every single minute. And that's just YouTube. Think about TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything else. It's a flood.
A flood. And most content, even really good stuff, just disappears in that noise.
It syncs without a trace, which means, traditional metrics like impressions, they don't mean much anymore. Your content might get seen, technically, but does it actually connect? Does it do anything?
So that's the core problem we're diving into. If just getting seen isn't enough, what is? What actually signals success in this crowded space?
Okay, so the real currency now, it's earned distribution. Plain and simple, it's shares.
Shares, not likes, not clicks.
Well, likes and clicks are nice, but they're often just vanity metrics, right? A share is different. Someone is actively choosing to put your content in front of their network.
They're vouching for it.
Exactly. They're lending their own trust, their own authority, and that gives you incredible leverage. Free distribution, much higher trust from the new audience, and it builds your brand authority way faster than just putting out ads.
Okay, so our mission today really is figuring out how to make content that people want to share, how to build that growth engine you mentioned.
That's it. We've looked through the sources you provided, and there are some clear strategies, about 8 key ones, that consistently lead to more shareable content.
All right, let's get into it. If we're fighting saturation, we need to understand why people share in the first place. What's the basic psychology, especially now in 2025?
The fundamental human drivers haven't really changed that much. People share things generally for a few core reasons.
Like what?
Well, number one, to provide value to others. Sharing a useful tip, an interesting article, makes you look helpful.
Sure, helping your network.
Right. Second, it's about identity. We share things that reflect who we are or who we want to be seen as, our values, our interests, our sense of humor.
The identity signal. Makes sense.
Yeah. Third, connection. Sharing something can be a way to bond with people who have similar interests or experiences. Hey, thought you'd like this.
Building community.
Exactly. And fourth, it just feels good sometimes, right? Contributing something useful or funny or inspiring. And fifth, sometimes it's about supporting something, a cause, an idea, maybe even a brand they genuinely like.
Okay, those motivations make sense.
Sure.
But you said 2025 is different. What's the catch?
The difference is the speed and the saturation. The noise level is just dialed way, way up. So your content can't just vaguely tap into those motivations. It needs to hit one of 3 triggers, like instant. Emotion, utility, or identity. It has to grab someone immediately with one of those. If they have to think too hard about why it's relevant or useful, they're already scrolling past. The payoff has to be obvious right away.
Okay, emotion, utility, identity. Got it. That B2B SaaS example from the sources really highlights this, doesn't
Right,
it?
absolutely. Perfect example. They had this really solid PDF, great data on cloud integration, but
Nobody shared it.
exactly, because who shares a dry PDF, right? It felt like work. So they took the exact same data, didn't change the core info at all, and repackaged it.
Into that LinkedIn carousel.
Yeah.
5 mistakes costing your IT team 10 tier.
Precisely. And suddenly, boom, shares went way up. It hit multiple triggers. Emotion, a bit of fear, avoiding a costly mistake. Utility, clear, actionable advice. And identity, IT pros sharing valuable info with peers.
Plus, the format was much easier to consume.
Right. Low friction. That shift in positioning and format turned a dead asset into something people actively passed around.
That's a powerful lesson. And it leads us right into the first strategy, leading with emotion. If emotion's the spark, which specific emotions are really working today?
Okay, the sources are pretty clear on this. Strong emotions cut through noise fastest. We're talking things like awe, laughter, inspiration. Even a bit of controlled outrage can work sometimes.
Which ones are getting the most traction?
Right now, inspiration is huge stories of success, transformation, humor, but it has to be relatable. Memes, jokes that feel authentic, not forced. Surprise is another big one, like a really shocking statistic or an unexpected insight.
And you mentioned empathy, too.
Yes, empathy is incredibly powerful, showing you genuinely understand your audience's struggles. That creates a really deep connection.
That taps right into the identity thing again, doesn't it? Feeling understood.
Yeah.
But is there a danger there, like sounding exploitative if you focus too much on negative stuff?
Absolutely. That's the tightrope walk. And the key is authenticity. It has to feel genuine.
How do you ensure that?
Take that mental health app example. Their TikTok, things your anxious brain tells you at 2 a.m.
Hmm.
It worked because it was so specific, so relatable. It wasn't trying to cash in on anxiety. It was saying, we see you, we get it. That feeling of being seen. That's what makes people share.
So specificity and relatability are key.
Totally. If it feels fake, like what some people call corporate funny or, manufactured empathy, it'll completely backfire. People see right through that.
Right. Authenticity above all. Okay, so from emotion, it feels like a natural jump to strategy 4. Storytelling. We all know facts inform, but stories travel. How do we apply storytelling effectively, especially on these fast platforms?
Yeah, you're not writing a novel here. Think micro-narratives,
Yeah.
short, impactful stories. The hero's journey framework can actually work really well, even in short form, especially for customer stories.
How so?
You show the before, the struggle the customer faced, then the aha moment or the turning point, maybe involving your solution, and then the after, the positive transformation. People connect with that journey.
Makes sense. What about other story types?
Behind the scenes stuff is great too. It humanizes your brand, shows the real people involved, makes you more relatable, less like a faceless corporation. Remember that Bosnian bakery video example?
Oh, yeah, the baker getting up at 4 a.m.
Exactly. Just
Right.
showing him making bread for local schools. It wasn't selling anything directly. It was just an authentic story about hard work, community, and people loved it. Thousands of shares, just because it felt real and resonated on a human level.
That's powerful. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Strategy 2, effortless consumption. You touched on this with the sauce example.
Yeah.
People won't share what's hard to understand or digest. What formats are winning because they're just easy?
Think mobile first, scan friendly. Carousels and slideshows are huge, especially on Instagram and LinkedIn. Perfect for bite-sized tips or steps.
Like a mini presentation.
Kind of, yeah. Infographics are still great for data, making complex stuff visual and easy to grasp quickly. Short-form video, obviously 15 to 45 seconds, seems to be a sweet spot for quick insights or humor.
And the humble listicle. Still going strong.
Oh, yeah. Listicles work because they manage expectations. 7 ways to do X. Your brain knows exactly what it's getting. Low mental effort required. Easy to scan, easy to share if it's useful.
That real estate agency example really drove this home. From 40 shares on a long blog post to over 500 shares for the same info in a carousel.
Exactly. It's the same content, just presented in a way that respects people's time and attention spans. It went from feeling like homework to being a quick, helpful resource. Less friction equals more shares.
Which brings us neatly to strategy 3, delivering practical utility, making the content genuinely useful. People love sharing things that make them look smart or helpful, right?
Totally. It ties back to that motivation of providing value to their network. But in 2025, basic tips often aren't enough. You need to offer real, tangible utility.
So beyond just advice, what kind of utility content really moves the needle?
Think tools and resources, things people can actually use. Downloadable templates or gold spreadsheets, scripts, checklists, things that save them time or effort.
Like ready-made solutions.
Pretty much. Printable guides, if they're genuinely comprehensive and well-designed. And mini tools, if you can swing it, simple calculators, quizzes that give instant results, stuff that provides immediate value.
The Canva example is fascinating here. Their growth wasn't just the product.
Not at all. A huge part of it was content marketing, specifically giving away free design templates within their blog posts and guides. People found a useful template.
Used it, maybe shared the template file directly.
Exactly. And suddenly, Canva's branding is spreading organically with the useful content. Which leads to a key pro tip here. Subtly brand your resources.
How do you mean?
Put your logo, maybe a small URL, on the template, the checklist, the infographic itself. Not obnoxious, just present. So when someone shares the resource, maybe they email the PDF or save the image, your brand travels with it. It decouples the sharing from the original platform post.
That's clever. The asset itself becomes a distribution channel. Okay, let's talk about tapping into external forces. Strategy 5, leveraging trends. This feels risky. How do you use trends without looking, well, cheesy or like you're trying too hard?
Yeah, it's definitely a fine line. Trends like popular TikTok sounds or meme formats give you an instant visibility boost because the platforms are often pushing them, but
You could easily mess it up.
you really can. The key is adaptation, not just imitation. You can't just jump on every trend. You have to be super selective. Ask, does this trend genuinely align with our brand voice and message? Or are we forcing it?
If it feels forced, people will notice.
Immediately. If you have to bend your brand into a pretzel to fit the trend, just skip it. Wait for one that feels natural.
Like the Swiss furniture brand example.
Perfect illustration. They used that trending audio about things that last forever. It was already popular. But they didn't just slap it on a random video. They showed close-ups of their joinery, the quality wood, tying the trend directly to their core message of durability and craftsmanship.
So the trend amplified their message instead of distracting from it.
Exactly. That's the goal. Find trends that naturally fit what you're already about.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, related to this is strategy 6, encouraging audience participation, getting people involved, making them feel part of the content. How do we do that effectively?
You want to make it easy and rewarding for them to participate. Think low-friction engagement. Polls and quizzes are fantastic for this. Easy to tap, easy to share results to stories.
People love sharing quiz results.
They do. It's that identity thing again. Actively encourage user-generated content, or UGC. Run contests, sure, but also just genuinely feature and tag your customers when they post about you. Make them feel seen and appreciated.
And branded challenges.
Yeah, simple, fun challenges can work really well. Like that local coffee shop asking people to share your weirdest coffee order. Yeah. It's personal, it's inherently social, people tag friends, and it generated tons of organic content and shares for the shop.
Because it was about them, not just the brand.
Precisely. It invited them into the conversation in a fun, low-stakes way.
Okay, we've covered creating shareable content. Now, how do we maximize its reach? This involves strategies 7 and 8, optimization and repurposing. How do we make one piece of content work harder across different platforms?
Right. You can't just spray and pray. You have to tailor the content to how people actually behave on each platform. Platform native optimization is crucial.
What does that look like in practice?
Well, think about the algorithms. TikTok's algorithm, for instance, heavily weights shares. So content designed for maximum shareability tends to perform really well there. On Instagram, carousels and well-designed stories get shared a lot. LinkedIn, it's still prime territory for thought leadership. Useful insights, maybe packaged as a carousel or a strong text post. Pinterest loves infographics.
So you need to know what kind of sharing behavior each platform encourages.
Definitely. Remember that B2B SaaS company again? There are 5 AI tools for HR managers carousel on LinkedIn.
The one that drove 500 demo requests.
Yeah. That worked because it was perfect for LinkedIn. Utility-driven, professional audience, easy-to-digest carousel format. HR managers saw it, found it useful, and hit repost to share with their network. Platform-specific content led to massive earned distribution and real business results.
Wow. Okay, and that leads to the final strategy, 8, repurposing.
Okay.
Not letting good content die after one post.
Absolutely essential. Think of your core content piece. Maybe it's a detailed blog post, like 1,200 words as your wellspring. Don't just publish it and move on.
Mine it for more.
Exactly. That blog post can become a 10-slide LinkedIn carousel summarizing the key points. Then pull out the main stats or tips and turn them into visually appealing graphics for Instagram stories. Maybe film a quick 30-second video summarizing the core idea for TikTok or Reels. Pull out the most powerful quotes and turn them into standalone tweets.
So one effort fuels multiple pieces of platform-native content.
Right. You're hitting different audience segments on different platforms and formats they prefer, all reinforcing the same core message. More touch points, more chances for shares, much better ROI on your content creation time.
That makes a ton of sense. Build it once, share it in many ways. Okay, this all sounds great, but we know even good content can sometimes flop. What are the big mistakes people are making right now that kill shareability?
Oh, there are a few common traps we see all the time. 4 big ones stand out from the sources. First, being too promotional.
It's hard sell.
Yeah. People share value, they share emotion, they share identity signals. They rarely share ads unless maybe there's an amazing deal. If your content feels like a sales pitch, forget shares. It's dead on arrival.
Okay, avoid the pitch. What's next?
Second, ignoring the captions. You might have this amazing video or a stunning infographic, but if the accompanying text is weak, lazy, or doesn't add context...
people won't know why they should share it.
Exactly, or the person they share it with won't get the value. The caption needs to be compelling in its own right, often providing the hook or the key takeaway that makes someone hit share.
Good point. What are the other 2 pitfalls?
Third is simple but often overlooked. No call to action, or no call to share specifically.
You mean literally asking people to share?
Sometimes, yes. Doesn't have to be pushy, but a simple, share this if you found it helpful, or tag a colleague who needs to see this, can make a surprising difference. You have to prompt the behavior sometimes.
Okay, ask for the share. And the last one,
The fourth big mistake is trying to be everywhere and ending up nowhere, spreading yourself too thin across too many platforms without mastering any of them.
The dilution effect.
Yeah, totally. It's far better to pick one or two channels where your audience really lives, understand them deeply, and create exceptionally shareable platform-native content there. Dominate one channel rather than being mediocre on five. Focus brings results.
Okay, so avoid being too salesy. Write great captions, ask for the share, and focus your efforts. Makes sense. So wrapping this all up, the big picture seems to be, it's not about shouting louder.
Not at all. It's about resonance. Content marketing now, especially in 2025, is fundamentally about creating things that people choose to share. It's about earning your distribution.
And the way to do that is by strategically combining these elements we discussed.
Precisely. When you intentionally weave together the right emotional triggers, genuine utility, compelling storytelling, easy consumption formats, and smart platform optimization, that's when your content stops being just noise.
It becomes something else.
It becomes a signal, a valuable, shareable signal that builds trust, reach, and ultimately growth. It becomes your engine.
That's a fantastic summary. So here's something for you, the listener, to think about this week. Find one piece of your existing content that feels a bit dry. Maybe it's a spec sheet, an internal process doc, a feature list.
Yeah, something purely informational.
Right. And ask yourself, how could I apply one strong emotional hook, inspiration, empathy, maybe even surprise, to make this instantly more relatable? Or how could I turn this information into a practical tool or checklist that provides immediate utility? How do you make it shareable?
And to help you with that, we actually put together a resource based on these insights. It's the Shareable Content Checklist 2025.
Oh, nice. What's in it?
It basically distills everything we talked about, the key emotional triggers, the formats that work best right now, some quick engagement hacks, and those crucial optimization tips for different platforms. It's a free download to help you put this into practice.
Perfect. Definitely check that out. Thank you for joining us here on Wisdom Uploaded.
Will be it.
And remember, if you're looking for tailored help implementing these kinds of strategies, making your content truly shareable, and getting measurable results from it.
That's what we do at Digital Time Savers.
Exactly. Connect with Digital Time Savers for customized support. We're here to help turn your content into a powerful growth engine. Thanks for tuning in.